My name is Masha. I'm Irish. I I'm here to get some acting advice. I have my first day of school is starting tomorrow. And I'm kind of nervous because I just got into a new school, so I'm transferring from one school to another. So it's like my first day. Um, but I'm really excited because all my friends are there, and yeah.
Wicked. Well, you're ready for it. It's going to be sick. Like, even down to having your friends there. You're moving into this school because it's just, when you say new school, you mean it's like transition into like secondary school or like...
No, I was on a waiting list to get into the school, and I got in like 2 weeks ago. Yeah.
Sick. Congrats.
Thank you.
Well done. So in terms of your actual question, what was the question?
Sorry. My question is, how do you avoid getting anxious, like when you're filming or in auditions? How do you avoid getting nervous in front of people?
I think that kind of ties into what we were saying earlier, in terms of anytime that I feel anxious or anytime that I feel like I'm getting anxious or going to be anxious, first of all, understanding why am I anxious? What is it that's actually making me feel this way, and identifying with that so you can understand exactly what it is that's making you feel that way. Because only once you know why you're feeling anxious can you actually, solve the problem. If you're driving a car and it breaks down, until you know why it's broken down, you can't actually fix it, right? So understanding exactly what it is that's making you anxious and trying to identify that, and some tools that you can use to identify that is via the rules of elimination. So you get rid of this and, you say, okay, cool. Am I anxious because I don't feel like I'm going to make any new friends? Okay, no, because all my friends are going to be at the school anyway. So that's not the case. I'm going to have friends there. Am I anxious because I'm going to a new place? Okay, maybe because I haven't been to this place before. And then you can start to kind of work out based on that, what will make you feel like, what takes away from you being anxious, which is, the reality of something, which is that understand that when you are doing something or trying something new or doing something that you haven't done before, the only reason why you are anxious is because you haven't done it before. We have this, this thing of the unknown, right? Where when we don't know what's going to happen, that's what makes us anxious. Oh, I don't know if I'm going to, or I don't know what's going to, and that's always something in which kind of puts us in that position. So trying to visualize as much as you can is what I use. I always try and put myself in a position where I'm visualizing exactly where I want to be or how I want to feel in that scenario, and play that scenario out in my mind as much as I can. Because when you play it out in your mind, it's as good as it being done. When you have a dream and you wake up, you think it was real until you woke up, right? That was all in your mind. So use your mind to kind of go through and play out those scenarios. So if, for example, I'm about to do a scene that I feel nervous about, or it's a big scene, maybe there's a massive monologue in there, I will, in my head, literally just lie down on my bed and just kind of over and over again, just play out like me going on set, walking up and, hearing action and hitting my mark, and then going through the scene and, going through those lines and seeing the performer and seeing whoever is my scene partner, and go through that motion. And when you go through that motion in your head as many times as you can, and mess up in your head as many times as you want, because it's all in your head, right? So then you kind of, at that point, when you go to do it for real, you're in a position where oh, wow, I've already went through that, or I already know what it feels like to feel like that, because your mind will really and truly, it will correspond in the same way your body feels, in the same way you can't tell that you're having a dream. Everything feels the same, to the point where you might wake up in a panic after having a nightmare. Is the same way that when you're going through these things in your mind and you're playing out these scenarios, you have that as your testing ground. You have a rehearsal before your rehearsal. And so try and, take that opportunity to really go through those motions and understand exactly what you're going to go through. And the more that you've done something, the less anxious you'll become, because, again, it's the fear of the unknown, us not knowing how we're going to feel or what's going to happen. And try and play out all the different scenarios in your head that either you feel could happen or you feel like is what's making you anxious. So if you feel like, I don't know, you're going to go into the room and the teacher is going to shout at you, play in your mind that you go into the room and the teacher shouts at you, and how you respond to that, and look around at your classmates and seeing how they respond. And then you can work out how you want to respond in, you know, or avoid that altogether. So why is she going to shout at you, or why is that going to happen? And so when you go into that room in your mind, you can then adjust and make sure that you put yourself in a position that has seen all of those scenarios take place and you felt that. And do it in your head, because in your head you can make as many mistakes as possible, and through doing that you get to the point where you feel more comfortable because you know what to expect, and then you'll be ready for it. And that should help you to take away from, you know, that anxiety that you might feel about certain situations or certain scenarios.
Thank you so much. That's really, really helpful.
No worries.
Amazing.